they'll stay talking through my TV, and I'll be like, shut the fuck up.
Alright. Here we go, part 2.
I gotta load the game up, though.
Alright, load it up. Part 2 MOF radio. We did a little tip
This is part 3, no?
off. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Are we live or what?
Yeah, we're live. Let me post
Yeah, so I want to just first of all apologize to people. I had to show up a little late to go eat dinner. Had class with Leet, so for that I apologize.
Yeah, you guys had to deal with me talking about football.
You had to deal with Leet tips for the first 15 minutes, and then WWE chat in the main chat.
There's probably a high rate of Madden suicide after listening to me go through that. So.
Yeah, well, you weren't. It wasn't playing too well there, what you're trying to show.
You know, the problem is that if I'm playing,
it's situational.
Yeah, you know, you can't just throw it in there. I'm just trying to show.
And were you playing practice mode in your CFM too?
Yeah, I was.
So it's on all Madden then too, so it's not gonna work every time.
So, are you loaded up yet, man?
Yeah, I'm loading up, man.
Where'd you go to dinner at?
I went to, it's called Sailor's Return.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had some sea bass. Some fucking, yeah, it was, to be honest with you, not worth the money, no. But it was better than fucking fish at the fucking Long John Silver's.
How's my master tickets coming?
Parlaying them hard, dude.
Nice.
Working them hard. He's going golfing tomorrow.
Are you going with him?
Nah, I gotta work tomorrow.
Alright, so guys, this week what we're gonna do is, we're only gonna try to take about 30 minutes of your time. And instead of going through the whole schedule, we're gonna go through divisions. And then we'll take a look at the MVP race to kind of see how many players are really making a splash.
What division we tackling today?
Well, why don't we start in your home division there, man?
Start in my division?
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot more exciting divisions out there, but we could start in my division.
Well, you know, the NFC North is kind of exciting, man. You got the Bears and you tied at the top at 2-1, and then the Packers and Vikes at 0-3, man.
Kind of upside down, huh?
Yeah. Hey, do you think Betts pulled off? You were mentioning this the other day. Do you think Betts pulled off the greatest coup in MOF history with the trade that he's made? Right?
I'll tell you what, man. He is slithering his way to the top of that division. No, nothing against Betts or anything, but we know he had a rough season last year, so he skated out last year. After all said and done with that, he ended up getting rid of RG3 for, you know, he ended up sending Alvin Smith back. So when it was all said and done, he traded RG3 for Chandrick West in a round pick. So then, after that, he manages to trade for AP from an owner who quits the next day. So he swindles another player out of somebody. Then he manages to, I don't know what the whole debacle with him and the Giants was and what went down there. I thought they were going to replay it or it was going to be a sim. Somehow he ended up getting a sim win out of that. So now I got a win out of that. So he's sitting at 2-1, adding players to his roster, starting to get a hang of it over there. I'll tell you what, I would not want to be in the NFC East with him right now. Because he's like almost like, he's like Voldemort, you know, he's building up power out there, just getting ready to come back and attack. Like, you're letting him gather strength, and that's what he's out there doing right now.
Well, you know, let's go visit the NFC East there. So you got, Betts is actually 3-1, he beat J-Did. Cowboys are
he beat J-Did last night.
You know, I saw some definitely chinks in the armor with J-Did, man.
I mean,
he's giving up 95 points, man. Already.
Yeah, he came out hot against me. I don't know, you know, it was the first game of the season. We were all hyped up, ready to play. I think he still had a lot of momentum coming on from last year. But I mean, he's coming out the gates not how I expected him to come out. I'll be completely honest with you on that.
Yeah, a little shaky start. I think he'll rebound. You know, Betts is scoring a ton of points, 149 points on the year.
Ton of points. He's killing it with Deshaun Jackson right now. He's got Deshaun Jackson resurging out there.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. He's not really turning it over a lot. Eagles almost came back. I mean, he's as many as he's won, he could have lost, you know, 2 of those games. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not impressed yet. We still gotta wait for a blow up, which is coming. I thought we had it with the Giants game. I thought there was definitely a blow-up city happening there.
Well, it didn't end up. You know, it's still early, and that ended up going his way. So what I want to see is when I'm thinking the blow-up is going to be a lot later now. We were predicting an early blow-up. I think your over-under originally is going to be a little bit late for that because he's playing the good son role right now. Like, I'm back, you know, I'm playing the good guy, that's great. Like, nothing wrong with it. I do it all the time. I act up and then come back to the good guy. But, yeah, what I think is going on is I think it's going to be a little bit later because what it's going to take is when he came back, he wasn't thinking he was good, all right? So he came back thinking, you know what, I kind of got beat up last year. You know, it's a little bit different to learn this game. You know, kind of got brought down to earth a little bit. So what's going to happen is he got humbled a little bit. He's in there now, slowly building strength back up, like I said. I think if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen is when it's a meaningful game at the end of the season. Let's say, you know, the division's on the line. He's playing J-Did. I don't know if they play week 15 or 16 or 17, but let's say he's got a division game on the line at the end of the week. That's where I can see tempers flaring on one of the sides. Yeah, so right now it's a little bit, he's just in there, you know, playing the games. I don't expect anything right now. If it's going to happen, I see it coming maybe later in the year.
Who you got winning this division, NFC East? You still got Cowboys pulling it out?
Honestly, with the way things are going, man, like I said, I just see a hurricane forming there in the, you know, in the Southeast Atlantic, man. I see him building up strength, and I think he's gonna end up taking that division now, man. I really think he's gonna. I think J-Did's still gonna get in there wild card, but I think he's got some things real, and he lost his tight end, which I think was a big loss for him. I don't know how many weeks he lost him for, but I know he was a major weapon and a major part of our game.
J-Did's only really a game back, you know. We're only 4 games in. I don't know. I still got J-Did pulling it out. I think J-Did's can score more points than Betts can.
He could definitely score more points, but I mean it really comes down. He's got he's got the quarterback clicking out there. Cousins is playing well right now. I mean he's not doing spectacular on defense, but when you're scoring as many points as you can, I mean you're gonna obviously win some games. D Jackson, I mean I'm shocked he's got D Jackson doing what he's doing. I mean I've used him and he's decent. I just don't really. I've always had trouble, you know, building an offense around him. I just feel like he's more of a complementary piece to an offense, but he seems to be the major key part of that offense right now, which is, like you said, how long can that really last?
He's gonna go through a couple games where he's gonna drop a bunch of balls. That's what happens with those types of
and he's fragile too, so we'll see if he can even stay not hurt. So
all right, so let's move on to NFC West, man. Big game this week. Our boy who was on the show with us last week,
Big Dre
took down.
Bounced back. He bounced back hard, huh?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it in chat, man. 8 turnovers in the game and he lost.
Wow. How is that even possible?
I don't know, but he figured out. I remember I was telling you it was the show curse. He came on our show, turned the ball eight times, and lost. But here's one thing that concerns me with Seattle through 3 games. They've only scored 62 points, and if you remember last year, I mean, he averaged over 30 points a game. You know, not really seeing the dominance out of Seattle this year.
I mean, I've seen him. He was trying to make some moves during the offseason to add some weapons to that offense. I know he knew Lynch was aging. I really don't think he had the weapons there to really, you know, win those shootout type of games as is. He was getting by on his defense and not turning the ball over. I noticed teams are trying to, you know, starting to figure him out a little bit more now. I've seen him have some turnovers in his last game. He had some turnovers in the game against Dre. So, I mean, he's not playing the same type of ball he did last season. And I don't know if it has to do with that offense or what, you know, what's going on out there different, but it's definitely not the same team out in Seattle that we seen last year. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the season. They're only 2-1. You know, obviously there's a long ways to go, but I don't know. Maybe he's showing some weakness, but we'll see if he can bounce back. I think him and Dre play again in a couple weeks, so a little rematch going on.
Did they play that early again, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Cardinals, I mean, he came out hot. Cardinals and Rams, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked by where they're sitting at 1 and 2. I thought both of them were gonna do you looking a little bit better. Rams especially, we haven't really heard from him since the whole Obama phone. Has his Obama phone came in yet?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to. I really think he's J-Did. I think they're the same person.
Can we get an Obama phone update on this kid?
You know, maybe we just need to order an Obama phone. And that's what
I got Obama phones. I could send him an. I already said I would send him an Obama phone. I will not even send him an. I'll send him an iPhone, a Steve Jobs phone. iPhone 3, but still.
Yeah. No, I still think at the end of all this, we're gonna find out that the Rams and Jay did are the same person.
Well, I think the Rams. I used to think the Rams, the Saints, Jay did, and then there was one other guy that were all the same. But I'm starting to think the Saints is his own guy because he really showed his own identity today.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He did. He's got a lot going on, that guy.
Speaking of that, let's go to the NFC South.
Let's go there. Oh, the NFC South, my favorite division.
You have the Saints.
Some of my favorite players over here in this division.
You got the Saints who's going through a breakup. You know.
Yeah, that could be rough on Madden game. It could either break you or make you when it comes to Madden. Yeah. He's already really good, so I think it's going to do the opposite to him. So I think it does. So let's say Jess sitting at 1-3. I think if he got in a breakup right now, next thing you're gonna know, he's gonna have an epiphany. He's gonna come to the light, start rent-free. He's gonna probably go on a 12-game heater and win that division. Saints sitting at 3-0. He's got his Madden game down. I think this kid's gonna fall apart. I see a 3-game skid on the horizon.
Dude, look how many points Jeff's given up. 155 points in 4 games.
That's unreal.
That's not good.
That's not.
Yeah.
Is that defense that bad out there?
It's bad.
I know their stock roster is really horrible. I know they're like, what are they sitting in the lobby? They're like 89 overall, but it's because they're like 95 offense and no defense.
Yeah, the problem with them though is like all their skill players are really high rated. You know, Ryan and Julio, because I use them a lot in lobby, but their offensive line is terrible. I mean, Von Miller today makes me look like nothing. Made him look like a wet paper bag.
Yeah, so you're saying the skill possessions are bringing that ranking way up then?
Yeah, it's not a very good team. Their defensive line sucks. Linebackers suck. It's not a very good team at all. Now, when he selected them...
Yeah, it's got those sexy...
Yeah, when he selected them, I remember thinking, man, I don't really know if he knows what he's getting himself into, you know?
Yeah, because CFM's a little bit different. I mean, you got to really... I think people are really starting... When we selected our teams before, I mean, I never really thought of, like, oh, what team has a good offensive line?
Yeah.
To win in CFM, you got to have a decent offensive line. You got to have... I mean, it's just like running a real football team, and I think people are starting to realize why GMs actually make a lot of money. I mean, we can all sit... How many times I've told myself, I sit on my computer and I'm looking at Facebook or whatever, and I'm like, the Patriots need to go get this guy, or they need to go get that guy. And now you're seeing when you're struggling with cap issues, and you're seeing cap hits for releasing guys, and it's not that easy just to go out and get who you want to fill in the hole you need. Like, if you're really looking at it and you're a bad team in a bad spot, I mean, realistically, you're looking at like 3 or 4 years to rebuild a team. You don't rebuild a team in a year. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of work. So, and I think people are starting to realize how much work actually goes into that.
I mean, I think Falcons got the hardest parts of a good team, which is the quarterback, and they have probably one of the best wide receivers in the game. In Madden.
I disagree with you. I actually think those spots are the easiest to fill, only because I feel like Madden favors the offensive game. So I feel like you can go in the draft and get 3 good wide receivers that could put in your lineup, or you can go out in free agency and get an 82 rated wide receiver that's decent enough to make some numbers. But you can't go out and get an offensive line that's an offensive line, or you can't go out and get a secondary of cornerbacks that can hold it down. So like, I mean, you can if you're really good and you know what you.
Are you seeing my secondary?
Listen. Well, this is what I was just gonna say. The counter that is.
If I wouldn't have had the restarts, Gratz has 8 interceptions this year. 8 interceptions in 3 games.
Did you see the dude in first place?
No.
Whoever the leader is, I don't know his name because that's how irrelevant the dude is. But who's ever the league leader in interceptions right now with 5 or 6, the rating on that cornerback, and I forget whose team he's on, is an overall rating of 65.
Wow.
The leading cornerback with the leading interceptions in the MOF right now, you can pull it up, check it on me. It's some random guy I've never heard of, and he's overall rated 68, and that's who's running the league right now in interceptions.
Yeah, see, I don't think though. I think everybody's talking about corners. Obviously, Harris in Denver is really good. He's probably the best in our.
I looked at the corners. I'm telling you, the best secondaries in the league are Seattle, Denver.
That's it.
What are the other ones I've seen? No, I'm up there, bro. To be honest with you. My secondary right now is looking all right. I got Glover Quinn. He's like 89, 88. Slay and Hayden are both beasts right now in the corners.
Right,
and even my nickelback, Ono Patrick was a superstar corner. He's already rated 74 or something, or 78. He's almost 80 already. And he's got like 97 speed. I didn't even notice that.
All right, let's not get too off topic here. So NFC South, you still got the Saints winning this thing out? I still got the Panthers pulling it out.
No, you know what? I'm actually gonna go.
The Panthers
I got the Saints skidding.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm going completely out of there on this. I'm going with J-Fon taking his division.
Dude, the Panthers are a 2-point conversion return away from being 3-0. I mean, a total fluke. If he kicks the extra point there, he wins that game. Jeff doesn't come back and beat him. I think there wasn't that much time left. I don't even know what he's doing going for 2 to begin with. So.
Well, I know. He was. I know why he's going for 2. It puts him up 3.
Yeah, but there was only like 16 seconds left. There was no time left.
Exactly. Even more of a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
I would think. I don't want a guy to throw a bomb, get in field goal range with 16 seconds left. If I just get this 2, game over. Well, at least it's going to be a tie.
So, we're back to NFC North real quick. You worried about this Bears guy? King's brother?
No, I'm not worried about him at all.
No.
Well, who told you I was worried about anybody?
How you can win this division? I want to hear.
Dude, I can win.
You're going to win this
I'm guaranteeing I'm putting my stamp on it. I stamped it day 1. This division is mine. I take that back. I told you if I beat the Packers, this division will easily be mine. And I played the Packers and... yeah.
Alright, let's go see it.
I don't want to get too cocky on it, but yeah, now the Bears guy doesn't worry me at all.
AFC North, Browns are 4-0 by the way. 4-0. They won earlier over the Bengals today.
You called that, bro.
He's good, man. He's good. He's an offensive juggernaut. He scored 132 points this year.
Both of our picks, though, if you notice, are surprise guys out of it. We're both looking good on our picks. You got Browns at 4-0. My guy's sitting at 3-0.
Yeah,
he just had a breakup, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think Q still wins this division.
No, I don't. I think he takes a heavy dive.
Come on, man.
No, I don't even think he makes it in the playoffs. Nope.
You think Q's
doesn't make the playoffs.
Get out.
Out of the playoffs. Out of the playoffs.
That was a bad loss he had, man.
I think that was one of those losses that messes you up for weeks to come. Sets the tone for the season. I think he's going to reel from that. I think he's second-guessing everything he's doing on offense. I think that loss is going to hurt him. This week he plays Pettigrew this week. Pettigrew's going to come in and win that game. I can almost guarantee that. So now you're talking about 2 losses back-to-back, sitting at 2-2. Browns are already sitting at 4-0. You're already 2 games back. I mean, it's gonna be an uphill climb. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC, so it's not like he could just get in and easily take that wild card. I mean, there's a lot of teams here. Like I'm looking at, I personally have both of the wild cards coming out of the AFC West. So I don't know how that's gonna shake out there, but I think Q's gonna be the odd man left out of that when all is said and done, because I think both of the wild cards are coming out of the AFC West. I don't know who's winning the division. I don't know if it's going to be Poly. I don't know if it's going to be Chief. I don't know if it's going to be Raiders. I don't even know if it's going to be the Chargers. But I do know that both of those wild cards are probably going to come out of that division.
Wow. Bold statement. You got anything coming out of the Ravens or Bengals? These guys rebounded at all? Bengals just giving up so many points this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, Ravens showed us that little flash with that win. Bengals, I don't know who this guy is really. Oh, Bengals is DB, right? Bengals is DB, so I was thinking of the other guy that I get mixed up with, the new Eagles guy that has the Bengals only for his screen name, whatever. I get that mixed up, but yeah, I mean DB's MOF veteran. I mean I think he was about 8-8 with them last year, so kind of middle of the road. I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything. I think that's going to be pretty status quo in that division. I think I'm shocked by the Browns there. I thought Peasy was going to steal that division, but I told you after that loss, I just feel like that loss got up in his head. If you look, he's only got 61 points scored so far. He's only allowing 51, so his defense is looking stout. But Browns has double the amount of points in only one more game, so we'll see.
Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. What is that you're doing?
Right. Sorry, my mic. I got something going on with my mic. So, anyways, all right. So let's move on here. AFC South.
Your division.
Yeah.
Shout out Rockwell. Rockwell is drinking Kettle One and Cran tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't gotten to division games yet. Haven't seen Dolan around. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's still.
What's up with him? Is he still missing or what?
I don't know. He might be in a soup kitchen somewhere.
He's in a tent city.
Yeah, he's in a city of tents. They don't get Wi-Fi there. That's terrible. But I don't know. So I don't really know what to get out of any of these guys. Rocco's like,
do you want me to give you my analysis on this division?
No,
you easily win it. You easily win it. No other wild card is coming out of this division. I see Rockwell going 8-8, maybe 9-7. I just don't think Tennessee has enough to do it with you playing you twice a year. He's got to play Dolan twice as tough. To be honest with you, I feel like the AFC is a lot tougher than the NFC.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, especially.
I think team for team, I think there's a lot more talent in the AFC than there is in the NFC.
Well,
combined with the actual talent of the teams and everything. I'm not just going off just pure owners.
Yeah, and we'll go to the AFC East, and you got the Jets at 1 and 2, man. Last year's second or third seed? Were they a third seed last year? They were the
yeah, I know he knows Bill Clinton and he's heavy in the politics. I know he prides himself on being a CFM expert. Just one of many things that he is. This guy's a connoisseur, man. He's like the guy that does the Dos Equis commercials, like the world's most interesting man, self-proclaimed, of course. He's got a lot going on. Yeah, I mean, he's probably a black belt in something too. He probably knows, he's probably in the CIA. Probably knows the recipe to KFC. This guy's just mad connected.
He's got Homeland Security listening to this broadcast.
I'm just gonna flat out say this. I see the moves he makes. I see the trades he makes. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think his team sucks. And I'm just gonna flat out say it. I think he made his team a lot worse. He got rid of Revis. I'm like, yeah, he's old, but we have one season left in CFM, really. Yeah. I mean, what are you going out to do? Develop a bunch of young guys? I mean. Yeah, I got draft picks for my trade, and people are like, oh, what are you going to do, dev them? No, I know how to draft, so my guys are already around 80, and they can play. I'm not trying to dev guys in the 60s, but, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I see the moves you make and why you would do them, but he didn't go out and get anybody. He didn't have a good draft. He didn't get anybody good in free agency. All the trades he does, I mean, he trades players, but he just fills holes and then makes more holes. I mean, I don't know if it's that he doesn't know what he's doing or he just doesn't have. I know I've talked to him. He feels like the handcuffs are on a little bit and I kind of agree with him a little bit. When you have a crappy team, like we were saying in the whole rebuilding process, you can't rebuild them in one trade in the season and 3 in the off season. It's just you're not able to do it. I mean, there's just a lot more moves you got to make, maybe smaller pieces you got to trade, whatever. So I mean, I don't know if it's just he's stuck with what he's got, but he has no weapons out there. His receivers are absolutely horrible. I mean, he just doesn't have anything to really do anything with out there, and I just think he's in a tough division. Even the Dolphins sitting at 1.
Is this Pettit's division to win? Can you hear me better now, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better now.
Yeah,
I would say it's Pettigrew's division to win, like I called at the beginning of the season. Bills got 2 wins up there. I mean, who was the last Bills win against? That was against Peasy, wasn't it?
He just beat the Dolphins this afternoon.
So he beat the Dolphins, okay. So yeah, I mean, Bills got his 2 wins. I mean, I really don't see another wild card. I think it's pretty straightforward there. That defense on everybody thinks of Brady and all that other stuff over there in New England, but let's not kid ourselves. I mean, that defense over there right now,
it's good.
That's a good defense.
Only 40 points so far given up in 3 games. That's pretty stout.
I mean, even the numbers, I wasn't even looking at the numbers, but yeah, he's not giving up nothing. That's got to be the least points in the league. And I know they're a real fast defense. I know, Hightower's all over the field. Jamie Collins is all over the field. I know everybody scoffs at Butler. His attributes suck, but one thing I don't know if people know or not, but when you look in traits, certain players have a clutch trait. Now, if you know what it does, it almost makes them superhuman and stupidly good in the last 2 minutes, in the last 2 minutes of the game, in the last 2 minutes of the half. So, I don't really care about attributes because when I need to do something in the last 2 minutes of the last 2 minutes of the half, that's big to me. So I mean, Malcolm Butler has that clutch trait, so I know he probably is coming up big on third downs and key situations. So when it's all said and done, that's another good corner over there. So I mean, they got a great defense.
Yeah. All right. AFC West, most competitive league division going right now.
Yeah, these guys are out here, man. This is the division, like I said, I was looking at. I started picking Paulie to win this division. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't think he's going to win that division. I think it's either going to be the Raiders or Chiefs that win the division. Either way, Chiefs and the Raiders and Paulie are going to be in the playoffs, though, I think.
Chiefs' last two games really were good.
Yeah, he played really well. I mean, he had 2 losses to start with, but, you know, he kids himself. He likes to play the, oh, I don't know how to do this, and oh, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know how to do this. But when you see him playing, he knows how to do all that shit.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he go, oh, I don't know how to do that. How do you stop that?
Yeah.
So he was telling me one day, oh, I don't know how to stop the toss. So we played Draft Champions the other night. What's the first thing I'm going to come out and do and throw him? I'm going to toss it all over him. The kid stops it like nothing. He knows what he's doing. So
yeah, he plays a lot, man.
Fool you. He's a lot better. Yeah, he's a 12, dude. He's a PSEN level 12. Anytime I see somebody above a 10, I know they're a real deal gamer. So he plays his game. So I know he's good. I didn't play him in a real game, MOF rules. I mean, we played Draft Champions just messing around, but he's good. I can tell the kid's good. We played once before, and it disconnected, but I did not expect him that 0-2 start. I did not expect to keep it, you know, for it to keep going that way. So
I agree. Hey, look, I gotta wrap this up, guys. That's all we got for you this week. Any last thoughts on this week going forward, JP, as we prepare for next week's show?
Nah, man. I mean, just get those games in. Keep playing our games. Try not to get booted out of chat. I just got. I had to get bailed out. I don't know if anybody knew, but Madden got me arrested earlier today. I had to get bailed out. So, you know, that's nothing. That just builds up my street credibility as the MOF quote-unquote rebel, as I was called by Jeff today.
Are you and Jeff going to go into couples therapy? Maybe you and Saints and his girlfriend could do a joint session.
We're not doing couples therapy. Me and Jeff decided we're just going to wait till he comes down. We're going to take a long walk on the beach. We're going to watch Brady highlights and drink Pinot, and we're going to just talk it out.
That's funny. All right, guys, that's all we got for you this week. We'll be back next week. See you later.
Later.
Out.